Have you ever come home from work, exhaustedly thrown your backpack on the couch, scooped up your pet cat, pressed your face against its wet nose, and thought to yourself, "These sparkling eyes must be looking at me so affectionately right now"? Or have you ever wondered why you spent tens of dollars buying a bright, flashy red toy mouse, only for them to remain completely indifferent, yet go absolutely crazy over a dull, gray plastic bottle cap rolling across the floor? Or even creepier, those nights when you jolt awake to find them sitting hunched in the corner of the room, their eyes glowing brightly, staring intently into an empty void, the hair on their neck stands up, and their throat emits eerie, chattering sounds. At that moment, a chill runs down your spine, and you mutter prayers because you are absolutely certain they are seeing the underworld, witnessing spirits wandering around in your very own room. Don't rush to bring a shaman home, and don't get offended and blame His Majesty for being heartless. Evolutionary science will expose the truth behind those spooky eyes. And trust me, that truth is not romantic like a soap opera script, nor is it creepy like a horror movie. It is practical, coldly sharp, shattering all anti-science beliefs, yet far grander than your imagination. Let's decode the most perfect optical machine currently curled up on your sofa, to see what form you truly take in their world. First, let's strip away humanity's grandest illusion right in the daylight, the colorful world. Many of us have happily splurged heaps of money at pet stores to buy brightly colored, eye-catching patterned toys. You eagerly dangle a fiery red feathered wand in front of them, anticipating an explosive burst of excitement. Sadly for your wallet, from an evolutionary perspective, that action is exactly like playing a masterpiece symphony for a deaf person to enjoy. The human retina proudly boasts a massive amount of cone cells, helping us extract and admire millions of vibrant shades across the red, green, and blue spectrums. But cats have coldly discarded that privilege. To trade for the ability to survive in the dark, they sacrificed the brilliance of the day. A cat's world is like a movie with a broken color filter, leaving only dull grays, pale blues, and sickly yellows. That bright red toy wand you triumphantly wave around is actually just a blurry, dancing gray streak. They pounce on that toy not at all because of the color, but because their brain is programmed to lock onto movement. Essentially, even if you threw a ragged, ash-gray floor mop, their killer instinct would erupt just the same. However, the fading of colors isn't the hardest blow to the human ego. Even more painful is the truth about their focal distance. The proud wild beast strutting majestically in your house is actually extremely nearsighted. The lens system in their eyes is designed to extreme specifications to lock onto fleeing targets at a golden distance of 2 to 6 meters. That is the perfect distance for a lethal pounce. But the price paid for that deadly long-range vision is a massive blind spot right under their nose. Any object closer than 30 centimeters to a cat's eyes is completely blurred, turning into a shapeless, chaotic mess. Try to recall the moment you hugged your cat close, bringing your face just a few centimeters from its nose, smiling affectionately and waiting for a soul connection. Do you think they were admiring your gentle face? Absolutely not. In their optical world at that moment, your beautiful face disappeared. Instead, it was replaced by a giant, blurry, completely out of focus slab of meat, exhaling a strong gust of coffee and garlic from lunch. What helps them recognize you and keeps them from swiping and tearing your face apart right then isn't their eyes, but their hypersensitive whisker radar system measuring changes in air pressure, coupled with their sense of smell analyzing your familiar scent. In the exact moment you think you are exchanging the most loving gaze, they are practically half blind to your face. However, when the sun sets and cowardly humans begin to fall asleep, that is when the feline optical machine shows off its true power. Their ability to see through the night doesn't stem from magic, but from a perfect biomechanical structure that even camera engineers must take their hats off to. A cat's pupil is a vertical slit. This superior physical design allows the area of the light-gathering window to change by 135 times. Under the blazing summer noon sun, the pupil tightens into a thread as thin as a razor blade, blocking ultraviolet rays to protect the retina. But when night falls, that thread suddenly blooms, expanding maximally into 2 deep black circles, desperately absorbing every single faint photon of light drifting in the room. And this is when the top secret weapon named tapetum lucidum is activated. Hidden right behind the retina, it is a special layer of tissue that acts like a silver-plated biological mirror. When a flickering ray of light enters the eye, instead of being absorbed and dissipating by dark tissues like in human eyes, that light ray hits this mirror and bounces back onto the retina a second time. The cat's eye gets to see that ray of light twice. Thanks to this doubling of optical efficiency, cats only need 1/6 the amount of light compared to humans to sharply sketch out the entire landscape in the dark of night. Therefore, a chilling truth you must accept is, when you wake up in the middle of the night and see your cat perched right at the head of the bed, its 2 eyes glowing brightly and staring straight at you, don't romanticize that it's guarding your sleep. In the survival algorithm of a predator, it is actually just observing the steady breathing of the giant lump of meat lying motionless on the bed, to see if this body has stopped breathing yet, or it is calculating the coordinates to execute a thunderous pounce straight onto your stomach, waking up its paid-opening machine. And it is this obsession with these glowing eyes that has led us to humanity's most blind and ridiculous belief: the legend of eyes that can see into the underworld. Let's get straight to the point. Your cat is perfectly calm, then suddenly freezes. Its body goes stiff. It raises its head, staring intently at a dark corner of the ceiling where there is absolutely no spider or gecko. Occasionally, it lets out eerie, chattering sounds. You start to sweat, hold your breath, firmly believing that the door to the underworld has just opened, and your cat's eyes are acting as a psychic medium communicating with ghosts lingering in the house. Ladies and gentlemen, evolutionary science begs permission to deal a fatal blow to this anti-science belief. Ascribing telepathic or spiritual abilities to cats is actually just a fallacy. It is a way for humans to comfort themselves and cover up a humiliating truth: our species' vision is incredibly inferior. There are no ghosts, spirits, or underworlds here. Cats are not seeing supernatural forces. They are seeing a real physical dimension of space that humans are completely blind to: the world of ultraviolet light. The lens in a human eye is a solid protective shield that completely blocks UV rays. But a cat's lens is designed to allow UV rays to pass through easily. From the perspective of a cat's UV-absorbing vision, the corners of the wall that you consider gloomy and empty appear as a dazzling avenue of bioluminescent particles. A drop of your own saliva accidentally sprayed from a sneeze last week, a tiny speck of pollen fallen from a butterfly's wing, or simply a cluster of electrically charged dust particles floating around. All of these glow as brightly as flashing fluorescent lights. When your house cat suddenly freezes and glares at the ceiling, it is not opening its spiritual third eye. It is simply locking onto a brilliantly glowing speck of biological dust, dancing wildly due to the breeze from the air conditioner. That chattering sound is the scorpion strike reflex of the jaw, caused by a surging instinctive desire to bite the target's neck but being unable to pounce on it, while you are hiding under the blankets trembling in fear because you think your house is haunted. That killer machine is looking at you with utmost contempt. This 2-legged creature is truly blind. A blindingly bright, glowing flea is dancing right in front of him and he doesn't even see it. After all spiritual illusions are shattered and the romance is stripped away, this is the time for us to draw out the most hard-earned lessons. Understanding this scientific lens is not to disappoint us, but to help us know how to love a predator properly, with reason rather than blind faith. First, stop wasting money entertaining your own vision. Don't buy expensive, bright red toys. Buy toys that are white, yellow, or deep blue to create high contrast with the floor. And remember, the soul of the game lies in movement. Make the toy hide, appearing and disappearing behind the edge of the door like a terrified prey, instead of just waving it lifelessly right in front of their face. Second, respect their blind spots and spatial boundaries. Don't suddenly bring your face close to the cat's face and stare at them. In their eyes, that is a giant, blurry mass closing in threateningly. If you want to cuddle, approach slowly, letting them smell the scent from your fingers first. Let their radar system scan over you and confirm safety. Third, from now on, Please never yell, panic, or pray when you see your pet staring at a blank wall. Understand that their operating system is running at a much higher optical frequency than ours. Your house is too boring a habitat for a survival machine. Them turning a speck of dust into a hunting target is their way of keeping their predatory instincts from blunting. And finally, the most valuable lesson about connection: learn to slow blink. In the brutal natural world, two animals staring directly into each other's eyes without blinking is a death-defying declaration of war. But when you are sitting on a chair, and your house cat looks straight at you, then slowly closes both eyelids extremely sluggishly, relaxes its facial muscles, and then opens them, congratulations, you have just received the most sacred confession of love in the animal kingdom. It is actively shutting down its highest-level survival defense radar system. It is silently saying, "You are a giant creature. But right at this moment, I willingly close my eyes because I trust you will not eat me." What do you need to do then? Don't rush in and hug them. Sit still, relax your facial muscles, and slowly close your eyes and open them to reply. In the language of evolution, you are telling them, "I am lowering my weapons too. This place is completely safe." Raising a cat is not about imposing human spiritual beliefs or cliched sentiments onto an animal. It is a coexistence between an arrogant primate and a mysterious natural assassin. Once you have deeply understood the harsh yet beautiful world behind those cold eyes, you will see that all your servitude, every litter box you scoop, is completely worth it. Now, look around. Is your four-legged lord glaring at you? If so, try sending a slow blink, and wait for a magical response from their optical universe.